Hello and welcome back to the channel and another episode in the MRS project. This time around I'm going to be removing some really old window tint that was on the car when I got it. And I've had this car for over 20 years. Anyway, aside from removing the window tint, I'm also going to be finishing up and installing the RexyPOW Center Console. And that's pretty much it in this video. So let's get started. This tint has been on here since I got the car. It's obviously illegal, but outside of that, it's in mostly good shape. There's a few spots that aren't that great, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. I'm gonna be using a heat gun, blade, and one of these vinyl removal tools. Just gonna go ahead and start up here. I'm heating this side of the window, mostly to get it started. Almost. It's separating, which is not what I wanted. Go ahead and go with the door closed.
So the main premise here is to heat up the glass, which heats up the adhesive behind, and you kind of get it started to peel. And then as long as it's all heated, the adhesive should come off with the tint film. As you can see, it's not exactly as easy as I described. Sometimes it comes out pretty good like this, but you can see a big section where it didn't quite work that way.
Went too fast. Too fast.
And here are the results. Nice, clear window. No really ancient 5% tint.
Time to remove this window tint. Key to this is you got to heat the like a lot of the surface. Like you need to be heating where you're going to be pulling, but also shortly ahead of that. So I'm going to get a good bit of heat over a lot of this before starting. I want that layer to come off along with this other layer. Hot stuff. What? Oh, come on. Huzzah! I bought this from somebody on Facebook Marketplace, pretty sure. It came painted, but There's a couple runs here and there. It's not the greatest paint job, and it's fairly glossy. So I have some other paint that will kind of get it a little more textured and matte, kind of like the interior. So that's what I'm gonna get this prepped for now. Basically just gonna sand down the runs, get a little bit of scuff going, kind of go even on it, just so there's something for the paint to adhere to, and then get going on the process.
Now I'm gonna start just sanding everything down to try to get a sort of scuff it up enough to where the primer will stick to it. I'm also trying to knock down some of the runs that I mentioned earlier. And here I am laying down the primer. I'm going to be doing the SEM texture. This, it's a black texture bead kind of thing. Here's what it sort of looks like with just the beads on the primer. Looks kind of nice, kind of like a sort of block dish thing. I'm using some Scotch-Brite pads to knock it down a bit, so it's a little more kind of textured, but more of a... Tried to get it similar to the finish of inside the car. Kind of spoiler alert, I don't really achieve it exactly, but I think it comes out with a decent enough finish anyway. This is sort of the finished results before I go to add the paint or the top coat. And here is me laying the top coat down and the clear. Here's the finished product. And now it's time to cut out these built-in cup holders and then put the sort of cup holders that are meant for a boat in its place. Time to do a test fit, and yeah, not quite there yet, so we need to zing off a little bit more. Here's this last little ring piece off. Gotta blow the dust out again, and then let's see if it fits this time. Nice. And now time to do the other side. I already know how far to go down, so I don't need to test fit beforehand. And that's pretty much it. It's time to blow out this dust. And let's see how it looks with both of them in place. Nice and snug. Nice. And now let's plan for where the USB charging port's gonna go.
Time to load it up and hopefully drill a nice even hole, because I only really get one chance at this. This texture makes it very difficult to clean. I did not realize this when I was applying it. What I should have done was just gotten a lot more of the color coat and then really sanded the texture down a lot more. I used to buy this stuff in the bigger tubes, but I end up using it so infrequently that these tiny ones are a much better deal for me. basically giving this a nice bead around here. For anyone not familiar with B6000, it's a pretty strong, flexible adhesive. So, like with being fiberglass, I'm sure it's going to tweak a little bit. I'm going to be combining this along with a little thing of tape around the inside. Put this to the side. And why not save it, right? So it is 16 gauge, just like advertised, so that's good. Yeah, this thing works. I wanted some kind of excuse to use it. It's in there. That's not going anywhere.
Now to put this all sort of in place, got to fish the wire through, kind of get the top of it aligned just right. Spin the collar on to secure it, hold it fairly snug, and there we go.
USB. I'm going to install the shift boot, but this will be later on when I can put the wire into here. Switches, the underpiece, that's going to go on the underside. This would be for the e-brake. First things first, do this, then the switches, and I'll stick this on. So, as you can maybe see, there are these little pins that are meant. There should have been one here, but there isn't. I don't know. There's probably enough. In a way that makes sense. Maybe this is what I was supposed to do, is bend that. Driver and passenger controls. That actually worked.
And here we have it sort of mocked up before it's actually in the car and fully installed.
There's that RexyPOW or POW, whatever. Center Console finally installed. A very large amount of stuff hooked up. Probably gonna 3D print something and come up with a cover for that. There's a sub. Amps.
And a power inverter to run that Dreamcast. Well, as you saw, it's pretty easy with a heat gun and a little spudger tool to kind of remove window tint, provided you can get it started just right, and then you got to be real even with the heat and very patient. You can't go too fast like I tried to do, as you saw a few times. Ultimately, it all worked out. I did end up kind of not necessarily burning, but sort of overheating the trim pieces on the outside of the car that go up against the window. Luckily, Toyota still sells those, and they're not that expensive, so I just bought new ones, and those are on the car now. I also got new kind of A-pillar trim pieces, as well as the rubber boot. None of that was installed in this video, but those are in there now just because it kind of needed it anyway. And, you know, me burning the trim was kind of a good excuse to get that project moving. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment, ring the bell so you get new notifications. I've been able to post these every Tuesday each week. So kind of, if you don't ring the bell, you can just check after Tuesday. But, you know, that's what you're supposed to say at the end of these, right? Anyway, thanks for watching.